Today, we are diving deep into the world of AI oracles. Yeah, you heard that right. These are algorithms that are starting to predict massive global crises with, honestly, some startling accuracy. We're going to break down how they work, what they can actually do, and the huge questions they raise for all of us.
I mean, really think about that. What if we knew, with a high degree of certainty, which city was going to run out of water, or which entire coastline would become uninhabitable, years before anyone even thinks about packing a bag?
Well, here's the thing. This is no longer science fiction. It's quickly becoming a reality. We're stepping into this brand new era of predictive intelligence, and it is already shaping global stability in ways we're just beginning to understand. So how on earth is this even possible? Let's take a look under the hood. Okay, so at the very heart of this revolution is something we're calling the Global Barometer. Think of it as a system of incredibly advanced AI models, all working together to chart humanity's next moves on a planetary scale.
And listen, this is not just some futuristic idea I cooked up. The World Economic Forum is already exploring a global cooperation barometer. That tells you that this is being taken very, very seriously at the highest levels. It's a huge sign that we are on the brink of a fundamental shift in how we tackle global challenges.
So, what is the engine powering this global barometer? Well, it's not one single all-knowing AI like in the movies. Instead, it's more like a team of specialists, a collection of different AIs, each bringing its own unique superpower to the table. Let's meet some of the key players. First up, you've got Google's GenCast. This thing is an absolute game changer for weather forecasting. It's an AI that can predict extreme weather events with incredible accuracy up to 15 days out. That's a huge leap forward.
Then you have models like OpenAI's GPT 5.2. Now, this is a language model, so it's a master at understanding text. But its real magic is its ability to perform complex logical reasoning, to connect the dots between things that might seem totally unrelated. And, crucially, it's getting much better at not just making stuff up, what the experts call hallucinating.
And you know, it's not always the biggest model that wins. Take Microsoft's 5.4. It's what's known as a small language model, but man, it punches way above its weight. It's a perfect example of how you can build these hyper-efficient, specialized AIs that can be deployed at a massive scale without needing city-sized server farms. So when you look at them all together, you start to see the bigger picture. You've got GenCast, which got its big debut in the journal Nature, handling the weather. You've got GPT 5.2, providing that complex, logical backbone. And then you have these super specialized AIs, like Bloomberg GPT, which is detailed in Research on Archive, that can just tear through financial data like nothing else. Each one is a critical piece of a much larger puzzle. And this is where the real power kicks in, when you combine these tools. Because then, you're not just predicting a single storm, you're modeling the entire chain reaction, what's called a cascading failure, as it ripples through our societies.
Let's just walk through a quick example so you can see what I mean. It all starts with one prediction. GenCast says a severe, long-term drought is about to hit a critical region. Okay, that's the first domino. Because of that drought, hydropower dams can't generate electricity. Suddenly, you have an energy crisis. That in turn creates huge financial risks, a topic covered in the journal Nature Communications. And the final domino? The entire food system comes under intense pressure, which is a major red flag for organizations like the FAO. See? It's a cascading failure, one event setting off a chain reaction.
And the economic damage from this kind of thing? It is just staggering. A recent report from the World Bank Group estimates that rising temperatures could vaporize 15% of the economic potential in Africa and Latin America. Just to put that into perspective, we are talking about trillions of dollars. This isn't some far-off threat. It is happening right now. But here's the good news. This isn't all about doom and gloom. This incredible predictive power also gives us a whole new toolkit to get ahead of these crises, to stop them before they even start. It's a totally new way of thinking about global problem solving, called anticipatory diplomacy. And this is already being put into practice. A study in Nature Climate Change shows how AI-driven monsoon forecasts are helping farmers in India adapt their planting cycles. Another, in Nature Communications, explains how global risk pooling, guided by AI, can shield countries that depend on hydropower from financial ruin. And the FAO's Data Lab is using these innovations to respond to food crises before they become famines. The key takeaway here is that we can actually use this tech to build a more resilient world. But there's always a but, isn't there? There is a dark side to all of this. This technology is a classic double-edged sword, and it raises some really tough ethical questions. The biggest one might be what we're calling the algorithmic divide.
So on one hand, you have this incredible promise, AI that helps communities adapt and thrive. But the peril is just as real. These same models, because they're trained on our own messy, historical data, can absorb and even amplify the biases that already exist in our society. They can create new and frankly pretty insidious forms of discrimination.
And this threat is being taken very seriously at the highest levels of government. This quote right here, this is from a 2024 White House memo in AI. It's a direct command to government agencies. You must check your AI for bias. It's a clear signal that the days of just letting the algorithm run without oversight are over. And that is a huge step.
The official name for this problem is algorithmic discrimination. It's what happens when the code itself, not a person, leads to unfair or harmful outcomes. Think about it. If an AI predicts you'll be a climate refugee in 5 years, could that stop you from getting a loan or a visa today? The prediction itself could become a self-fulfilling prophecy, a trap.
And this is a global concern. You've got the EU AI Act trying to create a worldwide standard for AI safety. You have researchers writing in Nature Machine Intelligence warning that a lot of today's models have these deep-seated biases against South Asian communities. And that very same White House memo specifically calls out immigration and asylum cases as a high-risk area that needs intense scrutiny.
So, this is where we are. The Global Barometer is pulling back the curtain on our planet's future. We can see these crises coming. We can see the migrations before they happen. The AI has drawn the map for us. But the question is no longer what will happen. The real question is, what are we going to do with this knowledge? The algorithm gives us the map, but we are the ones who decide the destination.